Hello, I am Robert L. Patterson, minister for the North Little Rock Church of Christ, located at 1708 Highway 161, North Little Rock, Arkansas. My friends, if this is your first time viewing our videos, please click subscribe. My friends, I wrote a theme called Taken Back from the Devil that we use in our congregation, and I am hoping that I can encourage all gospel preachers to use this theme in their congregations so that the whole world would know that the churches of Christ are working together to tear the synagogues of Satan down. My friends, the lesson for today is black people leaving the black congregations of the churches of Christ. That has become a real problem in our days as far as the congregation of the churches of Christ is concerned, because a lot of black people have left the black congregations of the churches of Christ. My friends, I am teaching this lesson in hope of getting all black Christians to stop leaving the black congregation to ruin. My friends, my prayer to God is that when the people of God read and listen to these lessons, that God would open their understanding so they might understand what I am saying. My friends, when a husband and his wife are having problems, they should not just leave one another without one of them trying to get them to resolve the problems. Paul said in 1 Corinthians 6 and verse 5, I speak to your shame. It is so that there is not a wise man among you, no, not one, that shall be able to judge between his brethren. When Paul was describing to the church how we need men in the church that ought to be able to stand up and help diffuse problems that was going on, he told the church at Corinth, is there not one among you that can do this? My friends, when the churches are having problems in the church, before they just split up and run all over the place, they should sit down and talk to somebody, because there should be at least one person in every congregation that can help us to resolve whatever problem that comes up among us. My friends, I hope and pray that I can get the black people who are leaving the black congregations to see and to understand that black congregations need the help and support of their members. My friends, we need to understand these things, that we're going through some trivial times, but we can still help one another if we just work together. My friends, there was a time when black people would see the distress that other people were in, and they would help those people regardless of the color of their skin. I remember when we were raised up at, my mother was the world's greatest advocate for helping people. It didn't matter what they had done to her, how they had treated her. When something went down, she was there to help those people. My oldest sister and I used to talk about how mother could do those type things and go on like nothing ever happened. And I think that my oldest sister took a part of that in her. She can help people regardless. My friends, there was a time when black people lived in black neighborhoods until God blessed them to become doctors, lawyers, professional athletes, or some other type entrepreneur. At that time, some black people moved to the white neighborhoods, leaving the black congregations and the people to ruin. They did good until they got something professional, or they become making a lot of money, and when they done that, they moved away also. My friends, in some cases, the white people would develop new subdivisions out in the suburbs, trying to get away from black people. And yet many black people moved into the white suburbs that the white people had developed for themselves. I just never understood how we could just run behind people, all because the white people kept on doing something greater than we were doing. And these black men that got education too, these black women, they was educated also. My friends, instead of those black people following after the white people and moving into the white people subdivisions, why did they not stay and work together using their educational status and financial contribution to build and improve their own neighborhoods, their schools, their congregations, and other recreational activities for their children and for other underprivileged people that live in those neighborhoods? My friends, black people that had jobs, they had finally got into construction type work, building, they could do all kinds of things. But instead of them helping to build up the neighborhoods that they lived in so everybody could have, they moved out to the white folk neighborhoods and started working for them and just left the black people to ruin. My friends, there are some black entrepreneurs who are still living in black neighborhoods, but they have moved their membership from the black congregations and placed it with the white congregations. Unfortunately, those black people has also caused the congregations of the Churches of Christ in their black neighborhoods to go to ruin. My friends, black people can still live in the neighborhoods, but they changed their membership to the white congregations. Therefore, their funds went to the white people as well. These people have already got all the stuff they need to help build their congregations with and build their communities with, but yet the black people take their funds out and give it to them instead of helping build in their own neighborhoods. Something strange have happened to people in the world today. They forgot where they come from, forgot who they are, and forgot the most important part of it all, helping somebody else. My friends, I can remember when some black families would send their children off to college to further their education so that they would bring the things home that they had learned in college to help their people and other people who were living in their communities. But in these days, man, it's many of our young black people who have gone to college, and when they received their college degree, they did not come home to help their black people. Instead, they went to the white people neighborhoods and lived among them. No doubt that also is another way of leaving the black people and their neighborhoods in ruin. My friends, we need to learn what God's trying to tell us. We need to see things that we could go back and do in order to help everybody to live better in this world. My friends, I am not a racist, insensitive, nor naive toward any ethnic groups, because it was God who separated his people at Babel, and he separated them to live in all parts of the earth. My friends, God did not separate the people from one another because of the color of their skin. If there had ever been a time where black people need one another to love and support, it is now. In this time we're in today, we need black people to help us. Look around your neighborhoods. Drive through the black neighborhood that you used to live in. Look at the house you used to live in. Look at the neighborhood around it and see the condition that you moved off where you could have helped. You got better education. You got a good job. You went out and you did all kind of construction work, all kind of building material things that you've done. The doctors that you moved away from, the people that are still struggling in your neighborhood, and you went off and got rich in the white folk neighborhoods. My friends, my prayer is that black people will come together so that we can build better and stronger congregations of the Lord's church and build better communities, better neighborhoods, and a better world for all mankind. In 1 John 3:17 and 18, the Bible said, "But whoso hath this world's goods, and seeth his brother have need, and shut up his bowels of compassion from him, how dwelleth the love of God in him? My little children," John said, "let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth." When I examine these verses very carefully, I see John begging people that have money to spare, money to live well with, money that they would die and leave for someone else to spend. And he's telling those brethren, help the other people. Oh yeah, they write books and they tell folks how they love people, but they don't go back to help those people in real life. So John said in verse 18, "My little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed." We need some deed, my friends. We need black people that have made the money, that made a career, to go back and help those black people in those black neighborhoods. My friends, in Galatians 4:16, Paul said, "Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?" I've learned in my lifetime a lot of people will get more angry at you for telling the truth than they do for telling the lie, rather, than telling the truth. You tell people the truth, they hate you for more. My friends, thank you for viewing our videos, and will you please help us to spread the gospel of Christ by passing our videos on to your family and your friends. Thank you.